speak English. 67 examples have gone before you that started part-time. They had a full-time job or a business, family, kids, all the distractions, and yet on a part-time basis and within a 2-year period, they got to the top of the program and have financial security for the rest of their lives. So it's not whether it can happen. We know it can happen. But here's the thing. Now we're looking at you. You're the next group. You're the next market that we're focused on and committed to in this company. It's you. So I'm looking at you. I'm looking right in your eyes right now, and it's going right down into your heart. I'm looking at you as the next founder and ambassador in the company. So because you are that, for that to happen, there's a responsibility here to be honest with you and tell you the truth about what that's going to take, okay? And I tell you what, it is a fine line. We're going to talk about something tonight that a decision is going to be required, and the people that make the right decision, your life will never be the same over the next 2 years and beyond. You'll make that decision. Other people will make, I hope not, but some people may make the wrong decision, and nothing's really going to change in their life. I was thinking today about that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because I hear the way people talk all the time, and I can tell, Poor Dad had a certain way he talked. I mean, the glass was always half empty. Rich Dad had a way that he always talked. The glass was always half full, optimistic, seeing the bright side, doing the things it took to succeed. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Tonight on this call, at the end of this call, when it's decision time for the market to see who really steps up to be the founders, I hope every one of you decide to be Rich Dad. In fact, if there's a part of this business that hurts me, that I don't like, it's the people that I hear get the message, but they don't receive it, and they get left behind. They get left behind. I mean to tell you, this is a special opportunity. There's a reason. Here's what I believe with everything in my heart. I mean, I could look in God's eyes right now, and I could say, you know what? I believe that these people were praying for something to come into their life. They were looking for hope. They were looking for an open door. They're looking for a future. They're looking for breakthrough. They're looking for increase. They're looking for change. They're looking for something better. They were praying for this. And Lord, you opened up that door, and you brought them into Zurvita. That is what has happened to every single one of you here. But now that you're here, we got to continue to take some steps. It just isn't going to happen for you just being here. Now it's time to take the next real step. And I'll tell you what the step is, and I'll tell you what the decision is. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you, but I'm going to be honest with you out of love, okay? Because I believe if you know the truth, you can deal with the truth. If I don't tell you the truth, then it's on me. If I tell you the truth and you make another decision, that's on you. So I'll just be honest with you. Here's the truth. If I were to line up every ambassador on this telephone tonight in this company and ask them, give me the one biggest piece of advice. Give me if you could only give one piece of advice, what would that advice be? And I can tell you this much. Every single one of them, without exception, would tell you that it was after their first convention where they really saw the deal. Here's what the reality is. We don't know what we don't know. If you've never been to a national convention in Zervita, you don't know the whole story yet. Out of 1 out of 10, you're sitting at a 1 or a 2. In spite of how much you love the product, how much, the opportunity is obvious, all those things, but something has to happen. It's got to get from your head to your heart. And there's no way that this can happen outside of a big event. It's indescribable. I can't articulate it. I wish I could. But all I can tell you is this. We don't have one example of somebody who has gone through the program and made ambassador to where they didn't get the picture at a big event and then go on to build their business from event to event. That is how financial security, that is how financial freedom, that's how your family's freedom and future will happen, is through this success system that we have. We have a proven, guaranteed track that if you'll, adopt it, and adapt to it, and just say, hey, I always tell this story that if I read the paper one day and the state of California had an ad in the paper and they said, we're going to build a monorail or we're going to build a railroad across California, high-speed railroad. We need volunteers to, drive the stakes with sledgehammers. And what it's going to consist of is it's going to be 6 days a week from sunrise to sunset. All you're going to be doing is sledgehammering stakes. The project's going to take 3 years. But at the end of 3 years, the state of California is going to pay you a pension of $500,000 a year for the rest of your life. I would drive stakes. Now, what would I be thinking of the whole time I'm driving stakes? Every day, sledgehammer, sun, through the desert, through the mountains, through the whole deal. What would keep me doing that? I guarantee you the conversation every night around the campfire would be, man, I tell you what, only this many days left, $500,000 a year, the rest of our life. Where are we going? What are we doing? So we're focused on the future. We're focused on what it's going to be like at the end of the road, so to speak. Well, here, the good news is you don't have to drive spikes 6 days a week with a sledgehammer to build a $500,000 a year pension in 3 years. Here, all you got to do is do the things that these people have done that have gone before you. You just copy what they did. Do what they did, and you'll have what they have. So we don't have one testimony of one person who has successfully built this thing outside of the system. What we want to do is we want to implement our system in Michigan. But we got to have founders. We got to have some people to do it with. But those founders have got to be with the program. It's like you've got to get to a national convention to where you'll get this thing. A convention collapses your learning curve in this business by 6 months in 1 weekend. Now, if that weren't the case, I wouldn't be selling it as hard as I am. But I know the truth. I know the truth about what it takes to do this thing. I did it. Mike did it. 67 ambassadors have gone through this program, and they're financially independent today. And they did it in an average of 2 years. You're next. You're next if you can copy. Now, sadly, some people are just like, I'm going to do it my own way and whatever. We just never see them. It just never happens. There is no other way, that we've seen it happen outside of our system. The system begins and ends with big events. So here's kind of what this thing looks like. Number one, We got to have you founders. It's a prerequisite. I mean, there's no way you can be a founder and build this thing without going to the national convention. That's where everybody will be. The formulator, Peter Nielsen, the scientific advisory board, everybody in rank. I mean, to tell you, I could go through the whole agenda. We don't know what we don't know. I'm asking you to trust me. I've got a vested interest in your success. The better you do, the better I do. So I'm not going to lead you down some road that's not going to produce fruit. The only road I want to go down is the fastest way for you to get from A to Z, where you are now, to ambassador. All I want is for you to make it happen for you. I have a vested interest. If I can help you, it helps everybody. I want to see Mike's work, the plowing, planting, and watering, come into fruition. We're a great team. Mike's a great lead guy. Man, there's not a plow horse in this industry like him. Takes a special guy to do that. And then we're a great team. I come behind and do some stuff. I'll have the company coming behind me to do some stuff. And we will completely support and implement our system in Michigan, but it can't happen without you guys. You got to have founders. But to really qualify to be a founder, you got to be at our national convention to be with the program, to know what we do and how we do it, to have it go from your head to your heart. You can't be operating on levels 1 and 2 when we need you at level 10. So it's your business, you know. I don't think you'd be on this conference call tonight if you were just a preferred customer or somebody who, you know, was just their biggest goal is to get their G4 done and eat the product for free every month. I mean, you chose at 9 o'clock at night to pick up the telephone and listen to a business call about a business thing in the state of Michigan that you're a founder of, where you can be financially independent in 2 years. I'm telling you, if you'll be teachable and coachable, I mean, all we have is your best interests. We just want to see you succeed. We want to give you the best chance to succeed. Now, of course, the biggest opposition to making a trip to San Antonio is cash, usually. So I got to say something about that. Number one, if you've got problems or issues or challenges with cash flow to take a trip like that, that's exactly why you need to be at that convention. I mean, we've been working how many years? And if we got cash flow problems, are we just going to keep going down that road and keep beating that drum so that a year from now we can have cash flow problems again? Okay, so I want you to invest in yourself. You've been investing yourself into something for a long time. What I'm asking you to do is invest in you. This is your company, your business. It's for your family. It's for your future. I don't care what it takes. The one common denominator with all these ambassadors that have gone before you is that none of them in the beginning could afford to get to a convention either. They found a way. They found a way. You see, there cannot be any obstacle that's greater than you getting to that convention. That convention is what's going to put you on one side of the line or the other. We got a couple in South Carolina where we had a big event coming on, and it was, I think, their 45th wedding anniversary, and they had planned it a year before. They were going to go to Hawaii for like 10 days and celebrate their anniversary. they were on a conference call like this, and we started to talk about how, it had to have convention had to happen. It didn't matter. And sure enough, they called and they scheduled, they rescheduled, they changed their plans from that Hawaii trip. They lost a lot of money doing it. But I tell you what, that's commitment. Those are big decisions. And that couple now is just on the verge, right on the verge of becoming ambassadors in this company. Those are the kind of people that you see make it. People who are tough, and they have to make tough decisions. It doesn't matter what the challenge, what the obstacle. If you've